戦闘っすね。まあやれるだけやってみます。
丸みアドワーズ。
行くぜ。
少しばかり行くっすよ。
あ
圧倒します。
そうだな。
それなりにやりますよっと。
ある気毒性
エレメンタル
早炊きですよ、カルメラ。運命をかけた戦いであれば。
So if possible, you want to try to get a break chain with Paracelsus here.
栄光の剣壊れずの絶世。このひとときだけでもエルマンでデュランダル。
ある気毒性
For the third wave, you have to rely on getting good face cards. Having Paracelsus as NP though does help with the damage.
お見せしましょう。我が光を。
One possible improvement to this would obviously be to have the max limit broken damage CE on Paracelsus. That would probably make it basically completely consistent whenever you can NP.
光を放てエルマンでデュランダル。
あなたには理解できないでしょう。
Next up we have basically the same setup, but instead of Paracelsus, we make use of Sakamoto Ryuma.
白兵戦行きます。
日の意と聖なる主よ。
少しばかり行くっすよ。
さっさとかかってこーい。あいつ
The important difference here is that you have to use the first skill on the Mystic Code to hit the 50% NP gain from the NP alone.
おはい。栄光の剣壊れずの絶世。このひとときだけでもエルマンでデュランダル。
The main upside to this setup is that you have a second rider that can crit here instead of a caster, so you can hopefully more consistently get it done here. Technically neither of these setups need the damage CE, so you could have another copy of the 3-star drop CE or whatever else you want in there, but that may run into issues.
もう一発。ありがとうございます。皆さんのおかげです。
Next up we have the silver matte node.
白兵戦
Full disclosure, I did not exactly math this first one out, so I'm not sure if Shakespeare consistently gets over this first wave or if Chenkong gets past the second wave. If this doesn't work, you can use the second setup anyways, because the main point of this setup is to get more buster damage on the third wave, so that you don't have to rely on face cards.
そして加減なく。この辺りが頃合いですか。まさかまさかの企画一陣。不自由な決断です。わかりますね。
ごめんなさい。 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 ごめ
出直していらっしゃい。
ロミオの悲嘆。
You can do both this and the second setup with Lubu, Summer Chalter, and Caster Shooten. They are basically interchangeable, with Caster Shooten being the best option here. But you'll see that in the second setup anyways.
アベレージ1の魔術がいかなるものか。アルキドクセン、エレメンタル、起動。
早炊きですよ、カルメラ。
お見温情なく。真なる栄、我が思いの形。ソード、パラケルス。
Paracelsus unfortunately can't clear the mobs using the Silver CE. Maybe if it was very high level, but you probably don't have that, so... But this way the setup is consistent.
奇策冷血をもって終わらせましょう。炸裂するは規格一陣。必要な犠牲でした。
はい、お座り。はい、お座り。
出直していらっしゃい。呵責なく。
たぎるわ。咲いて砕いてとろかして五宝少女九頭竜応殺。当然とはいえ嬉しいものですね。皆さんのおかげです。
Okay, look, this node is beyond awful. I could not find anything that doesn't... Like this is the cheapest setup I could find. For what it's worth, this is basically what Silver Fox has as the bad setup on his video, except that we're doing this a bit differently. We don't use the damage CE, and instead we're using a 50% starting CE to make the looping part easier. This allows us to save the crit stars for the third wave. Whether that's actually better than using the damage CE here, that remains to be seen, but this is in case you don't have max limit broken the damage CE, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't have that, but you know, it's an option.
我ら軍にして子にして軍、百の顔持つ千天万座ザバーニーヤ。
This is also the only setup because there's just nothing you can do.
お命ちょうだい。我ら軍にして子にして軍、百の顔持つ千天万座ザバーニーヤ。戦いは勝ったり。
ああ、鐘の音が聞こえる。